call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call, please.
Campbell. Here. Dempsey.
Here.
Fournier. Hammond.
Here.
Crop.
Here.
Rick.
Here.
Voorhees.
Here.
I entertain a motion to excuse Commissioner Fournier.
I'll move that we excuse Commissioner Fournier.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. We have a few today. We're going to start with our presentation of our Local Treasure Award to Miss Lisa Taylor. Want to come forward to the microphone for us? So last meeting, we had an opportunity to present a Local Treasure Award to one of the businesses in downtown Mount Clemens, in Mount Clemens, but we also mentioned that the Local Treasure Award is given to people that do extraordinary work within the city. And typically that is a person that does work within the city quietly and not for their own benefit, but for the benefit of the community and the residents in particular. And so we accept nominations, and we were given a nomination by Miss Diane Kubik, and she wrote about Lisa. Lisa is a longtime resident and business owner in our city. Her commitment shines through in many ways. Serving on the beautification committee, Lisa has helped our city to shine, planting flowers and installing perennials to add variety and reduce costs and keep us looking good. She helps with Yard of the Year and the Snowflake Awards, which inspire our residents to make their homes shine. Lisa shows up to help with events, doing whatever needs to be done. Placing inflatables, helping vendors, Lisa is there. She has also sponsored events like the Zombie Parade, bringing fun and visitors to our downtown. As a business owner, Lisa is not only a leader, but has created a destination. She links the businesses and community with books and words. She is well connected in the community and often provides direction, be it the plant shop or signing kids up for sports. Lisa has true community spirit. And she said, please consider honoring Lisa for being the treasure she truly is. So today, we would like to present to you, Lisa Taylor is presented with the annual Local Treasure Award for exemplary positive contributions to the city of Mount Clemens through her actions. Ms. Taylor has created a positive and lasting legacy for all members of our community to appreciate and be extremely proud of. Elizabeth Taylor is hereby declared a local treasure on this third day of April 2023. So thank you very much. And we have one signature missing since we have Commissioner Fournier not here, so we'll make sure that that gets to you. But that is for you, and I want you to have this copy of that wonderful nomination.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much, and if you would like to say a few words. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that. Well, we can do that right now so you don't have to stay through the whole thing if you want. Yes.
There we go.
Better? Thank you. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Our next proclamation is for Arbor Day. Whereas in the middle 1800s, the idea was brought forward to plant trees in an effort to beautify the countryside, and whereas the first Arbor Day celebration was held on April 10th, 1872, through the efforts of J. Sterling Morton, a newspaper publisher, who realized that trees would enrich the soil and maintain its moisture level, and whereas we have joined with other states in recognizing the great value that the planting of trees has on the environment, and whereas trees enhance the beauty of the city of Mount Clemens, cool and refresh our air, serve as buffers against the noise of our busy lives, improve our environment, and provide important educational experiences. And whereas the planting of new trees will be an expression of our commitment to future generations, and whereas the City of Mount Clemens enthusiastically takes part in the Tree City USA program by planting trees that enhance the beauty of our parks and community. Now therefore, I, Laura Kropp, Mayor of the City of Mount Clemens, on behalf of the City Commission and all our residents, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 28, 2023 as Arbor Day, and the City of Mount Clemens, and urge all citizens to join with me in recognizing the importance of preserving our environment for ourselves and our prosperity. And Jeff, how many years now?
37?
Oh, longer than I've been alive. No, okay, maybe not.
Good try.
I try. All right, we'll move on to C, which is our proclamation of honoring former commissioner, now state representative Denise Menser. Denise, do you want to come up to the microphone?
It's so weird to sit on this side of the podium.
Got an empty seat right here.
Out of your own desk. Whereas the City of Mount Clemens pays tribute to many individuals, organizations, and activities throughout the year, and whereas Denise Menser served as a commissioner for the City of Mount Clemens for 10 years and has continued her long history of public service as a current state representative for District 61, and whereas Denise considers herself a servant to the community, always listens to what her constituents have to say, and is not afraid to speak out, we know that one, while still realizing the importance of compromise, and whereas Denise is a longtime resident of the City of Mount Clemens and an avid supporter of local businesses as well as Mount Clemens High School, where she has been known to attend sporting events and cheers from the stands at football games. And whereas a dedicated volunteer to multiple organizations, Denise is Vice President of the Mount Clemens Optimist Club, a board member of the Friends of Mount Clemens Public Library, a founding member of Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and assists with blessings in a backpack. And whereas described as an amazing person, friend, and neighbor who has helped many people in the community, Denise cares about Mount Clemens and is a genuine asset to the City of Mount Clemens and its residents. Therefore, I, Laura Kropp, Mayor of the City of Mount Clemens, on behalf of the City Commission and all our citizens, do hereby thank Denise Menser for her many years of public service, her volunteer efforts, and her friendship to the City of Mount Clemens and its citizens. April 3rd.
Thank you.
I bet down there it also says, P.S., please bring all the money home to Mount
Yeah.
Clemens. Thank you, Denise.
Yeah, thank you. Did you want me?
Of course.
Listen, so, we've got a lot done in the first, 3 months here. We've repealed the right to freeload. We've brought back prevailing wage. We've, taken care of the 1931 abortion ban. We have passed multiple bills on gun safety reform, and there are more coming. There are more labor laws coming. But one of the things that I'm working on, and I talked about this before, is we have created a massive spreadsheet of the 83 counties in Michigan. And of those counties, what their population is and what their median income is, and then what the host city for county government is, what their median income and what their population is. And the percentages, we're working right now on finding all of the percentages of property in these host cities that is not taxable because it is county government property. I have had meetings with SEMCOG and MML to talk about this program. We would like to see a payment in lieu of taxes to each and every community that hosts county government. And we'd like to see a sliding scale. Mount Clemens is actually number 2 in the 83 counties of the amount of property that's not taxable. And we would like to see a payment based on our population, our median income, and the percentage of property. So with Mr. Shipman's help and the assessing department's help, we've come up with a figure of what we want replaced. This isn't going to happen easily. the meetings with them and MML and SEMCOG, they were kind of fractious because it might take some money away from them. So we are, my office and I and several other county or state representatives are pursuing this because it's going to make a massive difference. The other big hot topic right now is, of course, road funding. I can tell you that the Macomb County delegation, whether Republican or Democrat, we are incensed that our registration fees are going to other communities. We are, we are a donor community. Our money goes up to the UP, where it's based on lane miles, not on how many lanes, So there is a bill out right now that should come before us shortly to repeal parts of Public Act 51, specifically the donor part. We want the money to stay here, which means Mount Clemens would get a lot more money in road funding. So there are some things that we're working on that I think are going to be really good for the city. There are some other things that, we've asked for to bring home to the city. And I tell you, one of them, I asked for $700,000 for a new fire truck. So we'll see what happens. I happen to be on that appropriations committee, so we'll see. And I want to thank you for this, and I think my father would like to thank you for this too, because I hope this makes up for some of the shenanigans when I was 16. So, thank you.
Thank you, Denise. All right, I do have one more communication. This is a letter that I received today, actually. It's dated March 16th. Dear Mayor Laura Kropp and the Mount Clemens City Commission, it was so wonderful meeting with you on March 15th. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to discuss important concerns facing the city of Mount Clemens. Thank you also for reaching out to my office regarding Social Security. Like you, I believe our senior citizens should not be used as bargaining chips for big government to use to justify its out-of-control spending. Our seniors work hard, and we must keep our promises to them, period. For this reason, I was proud to introduce H.R. 875, the Protecting Social Security and Medicare Act, as my first bill in Congress. This policy exempts Social Security and Medicare from the statutory debt limit, so seniors will continue to receive their benefits even if the government defaults on its debt. I will be sure to keep the interests of the city of Mount Clemens in mind as votes concerning Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid come to the House floor. Thank you again for sharing your position on this matter. Please also extend my appreciation to Ron Campbell, Barb Dempsey, Laura Fournier, Rashida Hammond, and Glenn Voorhees. And that's signed Representative John James, Member of Congress. So, just wanted to share that with you. All right, I will move on unless anybody else has any other communications or announcements. Okay, we'll move on to adoption of the agenda.
Mayor Kropp, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kropp.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 6, public participation. This is the portion of the meeting where we invite members of the public to address the commission. If you would like, you can come forward to the microphone, give us your full name, your residential address, and abide by our 3-minute rule. We'll first go with those who are here with us in public, and then we'll go to our Zoom meeting. Is there anyone who would like to address the commission at this time? Okay, seeing none. Zoom call?
No, I just lost it. It just came back.
No? Okay. All right. Thank you. We will move on then. I'm sorry. I might go back to my agenda here. We will move on to administrative responses, which it doesn't appear to have any, so we will go to approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the March 20, 2023 meeting minutes for the work session and regular city commission meeting.
Do we have a support?
Support.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kropp.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
All right, moving to 9A, resolution adopting fees and fines for the Administrative Hearings Bureau. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the attached resolution setting fees and fines for the Administrative Hearings Bureau.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
Pursuant to the Administrative Hearings Bureau ordinance, fines for blight violations shall be set by resolution of the City Commission. Administration is recommending that the attached resolution be adopted, which would set those fees and fines.
Anybody have any questions or comments on the fees? Are these fees different than what we had in the past, or are they, were they arbitrarily picked? Can you give us some background on that?
Well, we looked at what the different communities that use AHB had, and I think we kind of met in the middle on where everybody was at.
Wonderful. All right, anybody else? All right. Call the roll, please.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Okay, 9B, resolution setting compensation for administrative hearings officers. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the resolution, attached resolution setting the compensation for administrative hearing officers.
Support.
Mr. Shipman.
Pursuant to the Administrative Hearings Bureau ordinance, compensation for administrative hearings officers shall be set by resolution of the City Commission. Administration is recommending that the attached resolution be adopted, which would set compensation at $65 an hour.
Questions or comments?
I have a question. I know later on we're appointing, but will these two alternate, or will they be together? working
Well,
together?
it's really going to be the availability. Mr. Hurt will probably be the least one used because they both work for Port Huron, and he does the least amount of work out of the ones they have at Port Huron
Okay.
because he's obviously semi-retired.
I was just
but-
curious if the board had both of them on at the same time.
Oh, no.
That's
It'll
what
be
I was
one or the
wondering.
other.
Alternate, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
All right, general business 9C, request city commission approval of a contract extension for residential refuse pickup and disposal services. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to extend the residential refuge pickup and disposal contract for an additional 5 years, effective June 5th, 2023 through June 4th, 2028, to GFL Environmental USA, Inc. for residential curbside pickup, street litter containers, bulk item pickup, yard waste pickup, curbside recycling, pickup and disposal of solid waste and yard waste.
Support.
Mr. Shipman.
The city currently contracts with GFL Environmental USA Incorporated for residential refuse disposal services for residential units, including bulk item pickup, yard waste pickup, and curbside recycling, as well as the pickup of street litter containers. GFL Environmental is requesting a 5-year extension to the existing contract, which expires June 4th, 2023. The proposed pricing for the pickup of residential refuse, recycling, and compost increases during the first year from $9.15 per unit to $10.95 per unit, and will allow residents to utilize trash cans at the curb. Years 2 and thereafter, an annual increase of 3.5% is proposed. A 3.5% increase per ton annually is also proposed for the solid waste and compost disposal at licensed landfills or incinerators. Currently, the total cost per unit, and that's a residential household, including pickup of trash, recycling, and yard waste, as well as disposal, is $11.11. The extension of the contract would increase that cost to $12.99 per unit, increasing by 3.5% annually.
All right. Yes.
I have a couple concerns.
Go right ahead, yeah.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to know why we did not have a conversation about this contract a few months ago before it came up. All of a sudden, it's just thrown at us, I guess. And I thought we should have some conversation, considering that one of the biggest complaints the last 5 years with GFL is the people wanted to know the cost of the Kirby carts. And our answer to them, and I mean, this was my answer and this was what we were told, is that we're in a 5-year contract. When that contract comes up, we'll review it and take a look at that and see what the costs would be. I don't know if anybody did that, but I know that the communication wasn't with us. So I'm just wondering why, or if you did have that conversation, if you do have the numbers and the figures prior to us signing this contract. I'm at the thinking now that going out for bid is kind of useless because the numbers are all out here. You know, I mean, to take it out to bid and everybody knows what GFL is offering, it's kind of, ridiculous. And I'm not saying this is not a good contract, don't get me wrong. I'm just more concerned that we didn't have a discussion a couple months ago before bringing it to us, and now we're voting on it, and we still don't have the answers about the Kirby carts.
So I did discuss this with Jeff Wood, and he did ask for pricing.
Okay.
They did not provide that as of this date, so we felt we should at least get it before you without that. If Jeff wants to talk about the problems of a Kirby cart situation in Mount Clemens versus some other communities, we've had that discussion as well.
And Jeff, before you start, really quick, didn't we, a couple of years ago, it was less than 5 years ago, we talked about the Kirby carts, because didn't we have some sort of extension of their contract where they now allow us to use the 32-gallon containers as long as they're less than 32 gallons, right? Isn't that?
That's correct.
When did,
So
Go ahead.
prior to the last contract, you could only put trash at the curb in a bag. Now you can use a trash can up to 32 gallons.
and when did that
Inside.
take place?
That would have been 5 years ago.
Was it 5 years ago?
Yep.
Okay.
I remember that. I mean, I know that we can go to Home Depot
Right.
and get the trash cans, but they're not like the Kirby.
Right.
Right.
I did request pricing from GFL regarding the Kirby carts, because I do remember having that conversation prior. I have yet to receive that. I did have a conversation with them this afternoon, hoping to get some answers. I didn't get anything, so I don't have that pricing information. I do know that in other communities with the Kirby carts, the issues that are had with it is if somebody doesn't use the Kirby cart or the truck or doesn't put it in the right place, they have a blight officer that follows behind the garbage truck, issues a citation, and then their DPW goes behind and picks that up and bills them accordingly. So, I don't know what process we would go through here if we started with Kirby carts. But I know that's one of the issues in other neighboring municipalities, so.
Okay. That still doesn't give me an answer.
Well, I don't know the pricing,
I know.
So.
Well, I'm glad you looked into it, but I just still feel that we owe the residents some explanations.
Right.
Because,
And I will certainly share, and I can share that information as soon as I get it with the commission, and we can share it at a meeting as soon as I get that information. I do know that it will be much more costly to go
Sure,
that route,
but-
so.
it would be nice to know what the cost is.
Right. And I certainly will share that as soon as I receive it.
Is there any reason that we can't put this on hold till the next meeting till you get that information?
I mean, we've been waiting to this point for that information. We can wait longer if you want to.
I would like to, at least that we'd have some concrete information when people start to ask why we voted one way or the other, or why we didn't give them a choice.
Right.
I would feel more comfortable having that answer in front of me for them. So, that's just my opinion.
When did their contract, or did their contract end?
It ends June.
Oh, June 4th,
Yeah,
okay.
June 4th.
So,
Yep.
yeah, we have time.
So we have some time.
I mean,
Jeff, have you had any complaints from the citizens as far as GFL?
I get a few here and there. nothing like I used to get prior to GFL.
Okay.
In our opinion, in the DPS, GFL has been the best to work with. They take care of everything pretty well. So.
Okay. And they handle just the residential, is that correct?
Correct. The city doesn't do anything with commercial.
How many do we have, how many different companies come into the city on the commercial side? Do you know offhand?
Endless.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no idea.
3 or 4?
Yeah, I would say there's probably a half a dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good, thanks.
Yep.
So who made the motion? I'm sorry.
That was Hammond, seconded by
So do we-
Rick.
Do you want to move to table? You have to say it.
I know.
You don't
Go
have
back to the title.
I don't think you have to move to the whole thing. I mean, you
Okay.
don't have to read the whole
Move to
thing.
table to the next city commission meeting.
Support.
Thank you.
When it comes back, I think we will have to do an amendment to the contract. It's not going to be simply an extension.
No.
Which has occurred in the past.
Right.
Because the pricing terms are changing. So we'll call it an amendment and then obviously extend the term for 5 years, but reflect the changes in the prices.
You're
from
saying
what's
if
in-
we choose to go
Right,
with the
from what's
Kirby.
in
Okay,
the existing contract.
okay.
Mr. Murray, with that motion, instead of the next meeting, can we, I don't know if I'll have pricing.
Well, you
We've got
can-
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been after them for 5 weeks.
Well, maybe,
Well, you
city
can, you
manager
can,
Yes, if they want the
you can
contract.
do it again in 2 weeks if you don't have the information. But, have another motion to table it if you think it's going to be imminent. But if they're not going to answer, then I think you probably
then I
have
think there's a
have to
problem there.
proceed
Right, yeah.
without their answer.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions or comments on the tabled? And we need to vote on the tabling, correct? Call the roll, please.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Okay, we will move on to 9D, opioid settlement. And, sorry, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to authorize the city of Mount Clemens to participate in the national opioid litigation settlements contained herein and authorize the city manager to execute the release and allocation agreement.
Support.
Mr. Shipman.
The national prescription opioid litigation settlements involve multiple manufacturers and distributors. On December 6, 2021, the City Commission approved participation in the same and authorized the city manager to execute the participation agreement form as it related to Janssen Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, the parent company of Johnson & Johnson, and to distributors McKesson, Cardinal Health, and Amerisource Bergen. Attached are documents related to the original national opioid litigation, but are proposed settlements with additional defendants, Teva, Allergan, CVS, and Walmart. Many states are implementing and allocating funds from these new settlements, the same as they did the Janssen settlements. Michigan's allocations are set forth in the Michigan State Subdivision Agreement for allocation of Allergan, Teva, CVS, and Walmart settlement agreements.
All right, questions, comments? Does everybody understand that this is a separate
I've already had a
settlement?
conversation.
Can you explain? Thank you. That would be great.
Yeah, 2 years ago, when we passed a motion to become involved, that was with the first portion of the settlement. This is a nationwide class action lawsuit, and there are multiple attorney generals who are representing states and brought the action. The formula is attached for allocations, but my understanding is that, by way of example, the Johnson has still not been distributed. It's a long, lengthy process. These are 3 additional defendants who they have now settled with, so it'll be on the same basis as the prior one. The other caveat is, don't spend the money yet, because the majority of any money that is received by municipalities, it's mandated that it is directed towards the majority of it rehabilitation. So it's not money that's going to just
Go to the general fund.
be able to, there are guidelines on how it is to be distributed.
Are there more defendants in the pipeline? Should we be expecting every year or two another amended
I don't know how many there are in total, Commissioner. I'm sure there are some more. In 2021 was when the Johnson settlement was, and that was for $26 billion. And that's spread over 18 years. So any of these settlements, I'm sure will follow suit. They will be spread over a number of years.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, hearing none, call the roll, please.
Rick,
Yes.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes. 9E, Fire Inspector Amendment to CBA. Entertain a motion?
I move to approve the amendment to the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Mount Clemens and Local 838 International Associations of Firefighters and authorize the city manager to execute the same.
Support.
Mr. Shipman?
On March 6, 2023, the City Commission approved the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Mount Clemens and Mount Clemens Firefighters Local 838. Administration is requesting to amend the agreement to include the fire inspector agreement. This will keep all contracts under one cover for clarity and ease of use. The amendment will not change the content of either agreement. City Attorney drafted and approved the attached amendment. Mount Clemens Firefighters Local 838 has reviewed and agreed to the same amendment.
Questions?
So you already had a approval on the inspector's contractor?
In September 2021, there was an amendment to the existing collective bargaining agreement, which brought back the fire inspection division. As you recall, it had been eliminated some years back. That brought it back. And when this collective bargaining agreement, the new one, was done, we inadvertently didn't include it.
Okay.
So that's why we are amending the contract to include it.
Okay. Everybody clear? Good on it? Okay. All right, call the roll, please.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item 9F, purchases and payments of invoices.
Move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support.
Okay, questions and comments? All right, hearing none. Call the roll, please.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
All right, consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Call the roll, please.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Agenda item 11, city manager's report. Mr. Shipman?
Over in Community Development, look on the city website under Community Development for Code Enforcement tab detailing the new Administrative Hearings Bureau process that will be utilized for blight violations. There will also be an article coming out in the next Clementine's newsletter. Over in the clerk's office last week, Deputy City Clerk Nancy Carter attended her second year at the Michigan Municipal Clerks Institute. This 3-year professional development program provides election officials with essential training to aid them in maintaining expertise with the policies, practices, and laws that govern Michigan clerks and Michigan communities. Nancy will complete her training and receive her certification as a Michigan Professional Municipal Clerk in 2024. Also, application materials are now available in the City Clerk's office for the following races in November 7th, 2023 city election. We have one for mayor to be elected for a 2-year term. We have one city commission seat to be elected for a 2-year partial term, and we have 3 city commission seats to be elected for a 4-year term. To qualify for candidacy, applicants must be at least 18 years of age, a registered voter, a resident of the city for at least 365 days immediately prior to the last day of filing for office. The deadline for application materials is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the Mount Clemens City Clerk's office. Please call the City Clerk's office at 586-469-6800 extension 4 for more information. Over in Recreation, the Recreation Coordinator position has been filled. Please welcome Leah Sullivan-Beeler to the team. Her first day will be April 10, 2023. And a reminder, there are still a few spots available for the bus trip to Frankenmuth on April 20th, 2023. If interested, go to the Mount Clemens Recreation.org website or call 586-469-6800, extension 520 for more information. Upcoming projects, there are a few construction projects throughout the city that are scheduled to begin in April 2023, weather permitting. These projects include the sidewalk replacement program, zones 9 and 10, the resurfacing of welts from northbound M3 to southbound M3, the installation of a roof on the bathhouse, and the addition of parking, fencing, concrete, and benches at the splash pad in Shady Side Park. Upcoming events, the Uptown Friday Night Concert Series and River Sight and Sound concert schedules are filled. Stay tuned for some great concerts this summer. We're still looking for artists, crafters, and vendors for the Made in Michigan show on May 12th and 13th, the Urban Street Fair on June 10th, and the Juneteenth Festival on June 16th and 17th. Contact the DDA office at 586-469-4168 or the Downtown Mount Clemens Facebook page for links to the application and information.
Any questions for Mr. Shipman? I just have one. For the Administrative Hearings Bureau process, I'm glad to see that we're having a Clementine's newsletter article. Is there any other type of community outreach in terms of educating this is a pretty big change to how we're going to do blight, and so I think that we need to have a concerted effort in terms of educating the public on what this means and how it's going to go. So I didn't know, I'm hoping that
What's on the website now, and then it's coming out in Clementine.
maybe
Maybe public hearing?
or somebody can, we could come to my coffee talks, we could do, we could do it public.
Journal could do a story.
Yeah, we could hold a meeting at the library, at the new library. I just think it's something that, we could do something on the public channel or on the cable access channel. I just think it's a pretty major change and we want this to be successful, so we need the community's buy-in as well as, our staff buy-in. I just think we don't want to blindside people with this new process, so.
And that's what'll happen.
Right, absolutely. So, I just kind of put that in your lap and,
Well, it looks like we can do a PSA with Patrick, and then we could do also, I still have the PowerPoint presentation. We could run through that too at a meeting or possibly on a PSA.
yeah, that would
What
be great.
about putting a little blurb or something on water bills or tax bills? Something
To direct people to the website even, all those things.
the more things we put out there, the better off we're going to be.
Social media.
Yeah. Eric?
If you could send me the PowerPoint, I'll do what I can.
Right.
Just so everybody knows, the idea too is as we go into this, we're not going to be as stringent as we would be a year from now either. That's they kind of softballed into it in the other communities as well, so.
Excellent, okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? He's not a commissioner, sorry, I didn't. I don't want to put you in there, that slot. Right, exactly. All right, well then we will move on to public participation. This is the second available opportunity for the public to address the commission. We ask that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, and abide by our 2-minute rule. We'll go to those in public first and then to Zoom.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. I was at the Y today, and I was sitting there. A couple people walked up and says, "Miss Ruthie, what is those trucks and things going along the street? Is that 1, 2, 3 truck construction and stuff?" And I said, "I don't know." And they said, "You don't know?" I said, "No, I don't know everything." But the point is I called Mr. Shipman and found out that supposedly it's
Their telecommunications.
yes,
but
a
I can't tell you exactly
communications
what
program or
services are going.
something that's going through the city or something like that. So maybe Mr. Shipman can put that on this site and explain it, because you can explain it better than me, and they seem a little lost, the citizens and everything. So somebody need to know what those 1, 2, 3 trucks are about.
Thank you.
They're going all around the city?
They will be, that you guys actually voted on the contract.
Remember last,
I
it
think.
was
Yeah.
two meetings ago?
Two
Was it?
meetings
Yeah.
ago,
Right
there
away
are
use.
fiber optics that
Yeah.
go in
Oh,
the right of way,
Okay.
along with AT&T
I
and
forgot the ones.
Comcast and all the other ones. So it's nothing unusual.
Okay.
Just something.
Go ahead.
Denise Metzer, 1399 Kingsley. Something for you to add to your calendars. My office is working on a river cleanup. We have multiple groups involved. The League of Conservation Voters, the Sierra Club of Michigan, Candace Miller's office, the Clinton River Watershed Council, and Garland Gilchrist said that he was interested. We are looking at some areas. We're going to coordinate more with Candace Miller and the Clinton River Watershed Council, but we are looking at pieces of Mount Clemens in Clinton Township and maybe where they butt up together. So Mount Clement, we intend to clean up along the shoreline and some things. We're not going to bring big, heavy equipment out. We're not going to pull big, trees out of the water, but we are going to make way for some projects that, Candace Miller has on the books that we can clean up before she goes in there. So Mount Clemens will be involved in that, so put it on your calendar for Saturday, August 26th. More details will come out as we, coordinate everybody's schedules. This is a bipartisan event. We will have, some Republicans and Democrats. Senator Kevin Hertel, Senator Veronica Kleinfeld will also be involved, and as will our county executive. And we are also reaching out to John James. If you don't live here, he can still clean here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I love that comment,
Yeah. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Okay, seeing none on Zoom? No? Okay. We will move on to commissioner comments, and we'll start with Commissioner Hammond.
No comments tonight, thank you.
All right, moving on. Thank you to Commissioner Campbell.
I would like to thank former Commissioner Metzer for her 10 years of service to the commission, and now her dedicated service to helping Mount Clemens become even greater now that she's in Lansing. So, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Commissioner Rick?
Thank you. I also would like to thank former Commissioner Menser for her work. I appreciate it. I'd also like to say congratulations to Lisa, who ducked out before the meeting got too busy, on her well-earned acknowledgement of her as a local treasure. I'd like to welcome Leah Sullivan-Beeler to the Mount Clemens team. And I would like to say that the city has openings on several boards and committees, including the Beautification Committee, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, the Traffic Safety Committee, and several others. Interested residents can find more information on the city website at mountclemens.gov/boards. We also have several job openings, including a payroll and benefits coordination position and a dial ride driver. Information available at mountclemens.gov/employment. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Voorhees.
Thank you, Mayor Kropp. I too would like to commend Denise Mensler for her, first of all, her wonderful years of service to this city and the city commission, and also the outstanding job you're doing in Lansing, representing Mount Clemens, Clinton Township, and also I am quite interested in making sure that the state is well aware that county seats are lacking in funding. And I hope that if there's anything we can do, Denise, please let us know. If we have to write state senators or, governors, whatever, let us know, because that's a very important thing for us.
And I've had this conversation with Garland Gilbreth.
Good. Thank you. And with that, once a Clemite, always a Clemite.
Thank you. Commissioner Dempsey.
Thank you for postponing that vote on the GFL, and I'm sorry, Jeff, that you have to do a little more work. I apologize, but I just think it's important because that was really a question that came up so many times from residents, and I think we owe it to them to give them at least a explanation on it. Denise, all I can say is you didn't clean out the drawer here before you left. So I had to clean it out. If you want any of the things that's left, see me after the meeting. That's all.
Thank you. Denise, thanks so much for really going to bat for Mount Clemens already. You've done, I would say, in just advocating for Mount Clemens more than what we have ever seen in the past that I know of. I mean, I met with our past representatives, and the issue of being the county seat and the burden that it gives to Mount Clemens, they all felt as though it was like climbing Mount Everest and that there would be no solution for it. And so thank you for climbing. We really appreciate that. Lisa Taylor, we really appreciate, she's not here anymore, but Lisa Taylor, we really appreciate all of your efforts in Mount Clemens and appreciate that you are our local treasurer this year, and look forward to seeing you in the Santa Parade, riding in the cars and waving and freezing along with the rest of us. I will have a coffee talk this month, April 11th and April 13th. Come and hear about the Administrative Hearings Bureau. It'll be a good opportunity to talk about that. April 11th will be at 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill. April 13th will be at 6:30 p.m. at Black Cat Coffee. I've had a few people who have come up to me to ask about Church Street. There's been a lot of repairs of some things happening underground, and I don't know if we can maybe hear a quick, what is that, and like how maybe the road will be repaired, because they're, you want to go up to the microphone and so they can hear you. I think it's not just Church Street. I know it's on Mallow and some other streets as well, but.
That whole area had a lot of old water lines and old broken valves, and we actually have not been able to shut that whole area off until now. So now if we get a water main break, we can isolate it and just shut off parts. And as for the road, it is on the list for this year. So as soon as our cement contractor comes in and starts replacing everything, it'll get done. But it will be this year.
Wonderful. All right, thank you so much for the update. And sorry to not give you a heads up that I was going to ask you for that date. And it looks like everybody adds Saturday, August 26th to your calendar for a river cleanup. And if you need any equipment for that, I'm sure we would be excited to be on board with helping. So with that, I will... We'll go to agenda item 14, our adjournment, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.